You're not imagining it. Dating does feel emptier than it used to, and it's not your fault. By the end of the video, you're going to understand why things feel so off, and more importantly, how to actually escape it. Now, some people are saying that it's toxic situationships or too many bad options, but 80% of guys out here are just dehydrated. So, first is the desert versus swamp problem. There's something psychologists call attractiveness inflation, and it's quietly making dating feel way more frustrating. Got a bro named Josh. Solid guy, decent looking, funny, good job, even owns an air fryer. Basically husband material. But dating for him is straight up empty, like the fridge of a college student. He'll go weeks without a match, and when he does get one, sometimes it's a bot or someone who unmatches before he can even say, hey. One time he got lucky. They had a decent convo. She gave him her number. So he tried to make plans. And she hit him with the classic, I'm super busy right now. Then spent the whole weekend posting brunch pics on her story. Another time he did go on a date. It went well. She laughed. They had a real conversation. She even said we should do this again. And the next day, nothing. Just poof. The lady was clearly a magician. This is attractiveness inflation at play. When your brain is constantly marinating in filtered, hyper edited, algorithm blessed faces, regular amazing people start to feel meh, less exciting. Not because they're lacking, but because he's not standing on a yacht, holding a golden retriever, and a sign that says, I invest in crypto, but respect women. We're not just swiping for connection anymore. We're subconsciously comparing everyone to a highlight reel or swiping for dopamine spikes. So no matter how solid someone is, even solid folks like Josh, they start to feel like page 2 of Google search results. Technically good, but overlooked for something flashier. For a guy, dating feels like snakes and ladders in IRL. Climb for weeks, but make one wrong move and boom, you're back to the start. And no matter how hard you try, the algorithm's like, nah, you're mid. But now on the other side, there's the swamp, where it's not no options, it's way too many. Studies show the more profiles you scroll, the less likely you are to match. Your chances drop by 27% from the first profile to the last. Why? It's something called comparison overload. I asked my friend Sonia what dating feels like. She didn't even blink, like she'd been waiting to say that to someone. Too many guys, and none of them are right. She gets matches daily like she could start a fantasy league. But the conversations are like they're reading from the same script. A lot of, hey, how you doing? Or worse, that one dude who skipped small talk entirely and opened with, sir, we haven't even said hi. Why are you speedrunning trauma bonding? No buildup. That's the first message, just diving headfirst into emotional damage. When she told me that in my head, I was like, damn, I say shit like that. And there's a guy who goes from what you doing to you're different in under 5 messages. Bro, you don't even know if she's left handed. This is comparison overload. After a while, every convo feels like a rerun. Even if someone's interesting, your brain's already like, yeah, I've seen this episode. It's not that people are boring, it's that your brain's low key fried from the volume of scanning 99 faces a minute like it's training to be TSA. Even great people start to feel skippable, not because they're lacking, but because the app keeps whispering, what if the next one's better? And that's the trap. Not because people aren't good enough, but because the system keeps nudging us to look past them. So, yeah, the swamp makes you skip, the desert makes you get skipped. Different terrains, same feeling. Either way, it's hard to breathe. But don't worry, I do have a cheat code for these two at the end of the video. Right in the middle of that dating desert and emotional swamp, there's another trap people fall into, not on purpose, but because the whole setup makes it way too easy. Situationships. The weird purgatory where you're kinda dating, kinda delusional, and fully confused. A 2024 YouGov study found that 1 in 2 Americans aged 18 to 34 say they've been in a situationship. And it's not just bad timing or mixed signals. It's often a part of a deeper pattern called the ambivalent attachment loop. So my boy Dick, Manny, last year got caught in one of those. They weren't official, but they also weren't seeing other people. They had nicknames, fell asleep on FaceTime, and made vague future plans like, let's go to Japan someday. But every time he asked what they were, she hit him with the, why labeling? Why ruin what we have? Like, sis, we don't have a label, but we share a Spotify family plan? At first, he went along with it, played it cool, but deep down, he was slowly losing his damn mind. Like, it wasn't casual, but it also wasn't committed. It was like emotional Google Docs. We were both in it, but no one was making edits, texting daily, giving rides, remembering oat milk preferences. But he was getting none of the security, clarity, or Instagram tags. Then one day the text slowed, the call stopped, and she vanished. And then the Fire Nation attacked. And see, that's the messed up part. You're hurt because you can't even call it a breakup. It's like mourning the Queen. I'm not British, but I needed a day off. Low key, everyone I know has been in one of those. Actually, I'm guilty myself for being the one causing them too. That's the ambivalent attachment loop. The back and forth, the mixed signals, the emotional breadcrumbing, the you up text followed by 3 days of silence. It keeps the other person guessing and hoping. It's not that either person's consciously playing games, it's just the dynamic feels almost real, just enough intimacy to keep you hooked, but never enough to make you feel safe. And the longer you stay in it, the more it warps your entire idea of what love is supposed to feel like. The worst part is we're not just falling into situationships by accident. It's because of problem number three. We're chasing validation, not values. It's not that we don't want something real, it's just that the whole system is built like a casino for your self esteem. Studies show 1 in 3 dating app users list validation as a main reason they're even on the apps. Not love, not marriage, just please confirm I'm hot before I go to sleep. Psychologists call this the self worth contingency. So, my friend Sonia again was texting this dude she swore had boyfriend energy, but only on text. He was sending good morning, like it was part of a benefits package, reacting to every story with fire emojis like she was out here curing global warming with her selfies, saying things like, you're my peace, talking to you calms me down, texting in full on emoji hieroglyphics, like he was trying to summon emotional intimacy with pictograms. But then out of nowhere, he slows down, replies late, suddenly busy. So Sonia does what any rational adult would do, posted a fire thirst trap and suddenly had 3 new guys in her DMs by lunchtime. That's self worth contingency in action. When your confidence depends on external approval, not internal security. Your brain gets a hit. You post, someone reacts. You feel valid for like 4 hours. And then it fades. So you chase the next fix. It's not that people are shallow, it's that the system trains us. We don't crave connection anymore, we crave confirmation. And when everything's built on attention, it's easy to confuse being wanted with being validated. Half the time, it's not even about the guy anymore. It's about the little dopamine spike that says, someone sees me. But the thing is, you can only chase that spark for so long before it stops lighting anything up. Eventually, the exciting turns into exhausting. Enter problem number 4, burnout and emotional numbness. And apparently, it's not just in our heads. A 2024 Forbes Health survey found that nearly 80% of dating app users feel emotionally, mentally, or physically drained, which sounds like a fake disease until you realize it's basically an emotional pandemic. Too many swipes, too many convos, too much effort for what? Take me, for example. There was a phase where I was on every app: Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, that astrology one where Virgo will ghost you with a cosmic justification. Initially, it was kind of fun. Matches here, matches there. And every time I'd hook a girl, Snoop Dogg would be jealous of how high I was on dopamine. But after a while, it all started feeling like laundry. Look at my phone, swipe and check for matches, reply, pretend to laugh at 2 truths and a lie, repeat. I wasn't even getting rejected anymore, I was just numb. And that's when I found this research about mobile online dating fatigue, a real thing where your brain basically taps out from too many swipes, convos, and too much emotional effort that goes nowhere. After reading it, I figured out that the issue isn't me, it's the current routine that slowly has taken over, which is rewiring my brain to care less. Suddenly, even flirting starts to feel like admin work. It made something, dating, that's supposed to fill you with a cocktail of emotions into a lukewarm cup of emptiness. Excitement turns into habit, and hope turns into scrolling, and eh. Even when you match with someone amazing, you're just sitting there like, cool. Anyway, let me check my other options. It's not that you don't want connection, it's not that you're broken. It's that the system trains you to scroll past what you actually want until nothing feels worth it anymore, even when it is. But let's say you made it through the ghosting, the burnout, all the dry convos that felt like job interviews with no callback, and now you finally match with someone who seems like a good fit. So you're open, hopeful, and then your brain goes, wait, but would we look good in photos together? That's problem number 5, aesthetic over love. And there's research from 2022 titled Personality and Individual Differences to back it up. Take Ava. I know, I have a lot of girlfriends. She's emotionally smart and great at communicating, the kind of person who brings snacks and support. But last week, when we were having a cup of coffee, she told me, there's this guy I'm seeing, right? He's kind, mature, treats me well, makes me feel calm and secure, but I don't know if I'm attracted to him. I asked, not attracted or not Instagram attracted? She looked at me like I just triggered her midlife crisis because they were still being physical. That's the thing. Researchers found that the more time people spend on social media, the more they focus on looks, even if they don't admit it. Somewhere along the way, looking good together became more important than feeling good together. We say we want emotional security, but low-key our brains are looking for someone who'd look good in a soft focus engagement shoot in Tulum. We've been trained to care more about aesthetic compatibility than emotional alignment. A lot of us want relationships that people admire, even if they feel like they were written by the same people who made season 8 of Game of Thrones. We're not building real relationships anymore, we're building content. And that's how love starts to feel fake. Not because the person's wrong, but because we're too busy chasing a vibe that photographs well instead of the kind that feels right when nobody's watching. But here's the wild part, all of that can be fixed. The ghosting, the burnout, the emotional Tinder treadmill can actually be fixed by just doing this one cheat code: disconnect to connect, by having real life connection. Here's why it works. In person, there's no swipe button, no algorithm, no photos from 2017 with a dog that wasn't even theirs. It's just you and them. No filters, no highlight reel, just, are we actually vibing? Online, it's a comparison jungle. You're subconsciously competing with 1,000 people at once. But offline, it's peaceful, it's focused, it's human. You're not looking for the best, you're just seeing who feels right. Plus, here's a cheat code nobody tells you: in person dating is the least competitive it's ever been. Why? Because nobody's doing it anymore. It's like going to the gym on a holiday, completely empty. All the good machines are free. In person, it worked before the internet.